The Supreme Court has once again stepped into a high-stakes battle between Congress and the White House. On Friday, the court ruled in favor of President Trump's administration, allowing it to withhold more than $4 billion in foreign aid funding that Congress had already approved. This decision, reached by a 6-3 majority, temporarily protects the administration's funding freeze and represents a major setback for the nonprofits and businesses that depend on these resources for overseas projects. Earlier this month, Chief Justice John Roberts had issued an order that temporarily blocked a lower court ruling requiring the administration to release the funds by the end of September. Now, the full court has backed that position, saying the harm to the executive branch's ability to conduct foreign affairs appears greater than the harm to organizations waiting for the money. Importantly, the court noted that its order should not be read as a final decision, but rather as an interim step while the legal fight continues. The dispute involves more than $4 billion that Congress allocated last year for development assistance, peacekeeping, and global democracy programs. President Trump, however, notified Congress of his plan to claw back nearly $5 billion through what is known as a pocket rescission, claiming many of the programs were wasteful and inconsistent with his America First foreign policy. The Government Accountability Office has already warned that this maneuver is likely illegal, raising even more questions about separation of powers. In her dissent, Justice Elena Kagan emphasized the stakes, writing that the court's decision effectively allows the executive branch to stop $4 billion in congressionally approved aid from reaching its intended recipients. She argued that this outcome undermines the balance of power between Congress and the presidency. The case has been bouncing through the courts for months. A federal district judge initially ruled the Trump administration's refusal to spend the money was unlawful, but the administration kept appealing. At one point, the Supreme Court had already required the government to pay about $2 billion in invoices for aid projects that had been completed. Now, with this latest order, the court has sided with the executive branch once again, leaving nonprofits and international aid groups in limbo. For many of these organizations, the stakes are dire. Some rely on U.S. government contracts for nearly all of their funding. One group, Democracy International, has said it faces bankruptcy if the money is not released, as 98% of its revenue in 2024 came directly from foreign aid awards. The broader fight is about far more than just money. At its core, this battle tests the limits of presidential power over congressionally approved spending. The Solicitor General argued that forcing the administration to use money it seeks to rescind puts the executive branch at war with itself. The plaintiffs, however, counter that allowing this type of pocket rescission effectively gives the president new and unchecked authority over the federal budget, something Congress never intended. This ruling may not be final, but its impact is already being felt. Billions of dollars that were meant to fund international development and democracy-building programs may never reach their targets, reshaping America's role on the global stage. The case also sets the stage for a larger constitutional clash over who really controls the nation's purse, Congress or the White House. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to subscribe to InsightPulse for more deep analysis on today's most important political and legal stories. Stay tuned because this fight is far from over.